Yo, what is going on, guys? SP Game once again in GTNH. Now I'm 24, and it's been a little while since I've been able to play. I haven't had that much time to dedicate to all this, and I've been really busy with work and stressed out. So I'm here now, and I did a bunch of work off camera, I guess, because I was just pretty much exhausted. Could not record, but was able to just do a little bit of stuff. Probably the biggest couple things. A lot of upgrades to the auto crafting. I have a maceration stack now. So this guy was not that difficult to make. Basically, it's a matter of, do you have the titanium to do this? Yes? Okay, go ahead. And we went and did that. So this is the start of more complicated ore processing. It's definitely not the end of it. We have a long ways to go. And I have a lot of stuff to process. And it's not really happening manually, I'll tell you that much. So pretty soon we're going to have to set something up to automatically do that, because I'm not... It's tiring to do it all by hand still. What else do we got? We have an implosion compressor here now. It's not all the way hooked up yet. I have some more problems I gotta solve before I get done with this, and one of them is gonna be something we're approaching today. I don't think any of these chemicals are new. These should all be what we're used to seeing. Pretty much been expanding all the auto crafting. Whatever I need, I've basically put down. A whole bunch of extruders. An additional bending machine. It's pretty expensive to make the upgrades for the interfaces right now, so I just threw an extra machine down. And I'll do another row of these if I need to later on. But I've been throwing more EV machines down. Basically a lot of assembling machines. This is cool. I was labbing out different ways to get fluids into my system. So I figured this out. Basically make a pattern where I'm saying make me 144 liters of redstone, or vibrant alloy, for example. It goes to my fluid extractor, and then it goes to a super tank below it with a fluid storage bus on it. This probably doesn't need to be a super tank, but this just needs to be a tank or something to store the fluid. And then when it sees it with the storage bus, the AE system is like, okay, recipe complete, and then it sends it where it has to go. So with this, we're able to do a bunch of cool stuff now. Most notably, where is it? Yeah, right here. I have a dual interface here for my assembler, and it's able to put in the redstone to finish off these processors for the AE2 stuff. So instead of having an assembler with a ton of liquid in it, like this one over here, this is outdated. I'll just have the liquid built into the pattern, and it'll send it where it has to go. And then I can just have an assembler for each circuit instead of an assembler for each circuit and each liquid, which is pretty awesome, and it's a lot easier than I thought it would be to do that. What else is new? I guess I didn't do that much over the last 2 weeks. I was just kind of tired and not doing very much. I do have some plans for this episode. There's a couple problems that need to be solved, one of which is the tungsten problem. So we're going to set up a tungsten line again. I guess we're just going to put it over here. I don't remember what I was making this LCR for. It was so long ago. I think I'm just going to tear it down. It's probably some kind of plastic, but I don't know. We'll set it up later on. Ooh, another thing. The fluid P2Ps. I want to start moving away from these. They're a little bit, I don't know, I guess antiquated is the word. But they're just kind of getting me across the finish line to where I want to be. And for the time being, we'll keep using them. But pretty soon we're going to have to move away from that. And use most of the fluid storage buses and things like that. Oh, there is something else cool that I did. I upgraded the clean room. So now we have a whole bunch of laser engravers. One for pretty much the most common lenses I'm using at the moment. So this is green sapphire. This is for the RAM sapphire. It's the blue lens. This is for my engraved Lapotron chips. And these are for my ME dual interfaces. I need these to be made in there. These are for the Project Red, what do you even call them? I guess the extended redstone things. There'll be more stuff that goes in all these too eventually. And then diamond lens, this is a pretty common one. But yeah, doing pretty good. I want to get a dual interface here. The dual interfaces are a little bit expensive still. But as I get them online, we're going to start putting them where they got to go. And then I could make the soldering alloy be made when it has to be made. Same with the lubricant. We could just dump the lubricant in whenever it needs it. Maybe that's slower than just keeping it fully stocked. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. So as I was saying, there's a couple problems I need to solve this episode. I want to make a tier 2 rocket. Let's take a look at this. There's a problem with this though. It's a little bit expensive for me at the moment because the tier 2 ingots, it's not like expensive, it's just like prohibitive. They take tungsten steel. We can do that. It's okay. It's not a great thing right now, but I think we can barely cross that finish line with what I have on stock right now. But yeah, these heavy duty plates tier 2 also take tier 1 plates, which I guess I could actually recycle my rocket to get a bunch of them back, but it's a whole lot of IT&T is what I'm getting at, and then the IT&T is something that we only use once in a while, I guess is the best way to put it. So what I want to do is have an on-demand LCR with the capability to swap out different circuits. And there is a way to do this. There's a YouTube video recently released by Nine, which sort of compiles a whole lot of knowledge from different areas of the GregTech community, mainly being Samsa and Ivylu, who are two different people that I guess did some research into. They really just labbed out a system they're calling universal automation, which is basically, I will get into this more in depth when I start building it, but you're going to be able to insert and filter out circuits from machines using like pretty interesting AE2 mechanics. The only problem is it's kind of like a platinum check. So if we take a look at all this stuff, I want an output bus and an output hatch ME. That's 4 acceleration cards each. That is 8 platinum for each bus. Or I guess for each ME bus or hatch. We can do that. It's just like a little bit annoying right now, but pretty soon we're gonna be able to deal with it pretty easily because I just like I need like 5 LCRs and I think like a blast furnace and a sifter, and then I can make like a mini plat line and just stock up everything else to do later on. You know, just stock up like the palladium and whatever other stuff I want to do. So we could solve that problem easily as well. But yeah, I have all the stuff bookmarked to make that. And maybe I will right away. I'm not sure. Okay, I did this instead. I set up my tungstate processing. And there's 2 different like lines for it, I guess. One is like you just have scheelite, so you put it in here. The other is you have tungstate, so you put it in here. And it's pretty important to separate it. So the first one, like autoclave, you're making sodium tungstate. Lithium byproduct, sure. And then the fluid goes into here. Hit the wrong button. And then from there, you chemical react this with calcium chloride to make scheelite and salt. The salt comes back around to a recycle loop. You get the sodium back. And then the scheelite becomes calcium chloride. So you get the calcium chloride back. So I don't have a great way to deal with all this right now. Yeah, see, I'm building up chlorine right now. So what I'm doing right now is I have the HCl in the middle here. And then we're going to distribute it to both chemical reactions that are using scheelite. Because one of these is going to be making excess calcium chloride. The other one, I want the calcium chloride to be looped. So that's why there's 2 LCRs for the same purpose. But they're different purposes. They're the same but different, you know? So with this chlorine, I have to send this to, I guess, my chlorine buffer. But that's full right now. So I guess I'll throw an overflow valve on this. That kind of makes sense to me. And then we should be good. And then this is the this is for calcium chloride. So I'll also hook this up to the HCl secondary buffer. That's no big deal. Oh yeah, this. I don't know if I mentioned this in the recap. My base had power failed at some point and shut off, which means that my water supply cut off and my boilers exploded, which is awesome. The good news is the tank survived somehow, and we have a good amount of steam for quite a while. The other good news is that somebody told me there's a recipe for steam and a fluid heater. That's a lot easier and probably more consistent, so we'll set that up later. But for now, the hole in the ceiling is going to stay there. So I'm constantly, whenever I'm recording, I am doing a ton of auto crafting, recording for like 5 minutes, and then going back to doing a ton of auto crafting. So let's just like recap what I've been doing. I'm putting down as many assemblers as I can. This one doesn't have a circuit, I guess it's kind of like miscellaneous, but I want to capture all the circuits. So like 1, 2, 4, I want 3, I want 6, and maybe we chill out for a bit then. And like any miscellaneous stuff, I'll just do on my own. Hit the wrong button there. We're running out of room here in this little machine setup too. I could build a second one right here, or we could start switching to multis pretty soon. There's a couple of them that I'm eyeing up that I could make already. One of which I really, really want, which is a lathe. Let's take a look at it real quick. It is a little bit big, is the problem. But you know, it's just steel. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just a bunch of steel. Which is honestly not that hard to make at all. Apparently the pipe casing makes a difference. I didn't know that. I have to read this more in depth. But yeah, this guy's gonna be really good, especially for making like the Certus quartz rods and stuff, because in this thing it takes forever. I set like massive batches in this and I just forget about it because that's how long it takes. But if I had a multi-block that would do it, it'd be much easier to like on-demand craft the rods that I need. And I need a lot of rods, especially for the cables. Because now I'm running with dense cables underneath. This is like killing me. It takes so long to make these. And I cleaned this up a lot, by the way. I don't know if I showed this earlier or not. But we cleaned up this cabling a lot. Still don't know what's going on with the power cable. Don't worry about it. But later on I'll fix it. Like many things in the base, we'll fix it later. It's future me's problem, not right now. Alright, next task is the universal automation setup. I'm just going to watch the video on how to do it. The video is going to be linked, and I recommend that you do that as well. We're going to try to figure it out together. I've never done this before, and I expect to tear this down and bring it back up a couple times, but basically we're just going to build an LCR, and from there, start figuring it out. So this is a crazy jump cut to have, but I built a ton of stuff from the video, and I kind of understand it a little bit. I'm still figuring it out, but for the most part, let's walk through it. Basically, you put your recipes into this ME interface, which is on my like main network, which is on the P2P down here underneath. This is going to push a recipe into a sub-network, which is each individual for these ME drives. These ME drives are configured to just have the circuit in them and nothing else. So this is just a one circuit in a drive. On the back here, we have a filter to extract, which is going to blacklist that cell with a single circuit in it. So once there's items in there, it's going to take this out and bring it over to this tiny chest. So once it's in the tiny chest, the item importer will send it down to the MEIO port. It gets items transferred out for the most part. So the items go to the storage bus and sent into here. And then the fluid storage bus here is going to send the fluids into here as well. And then the way that this is going to work is the fluid packet, the fluids come in as those like droplets, I believe. So you need a fluid packet decoder. So I have a fuzzy card here with fluid packets. So any fluids will go to this thing, become a fluid, and they'll go to the storage bus. And then all the fluids will go into here. Or I guess all the fluids will not go to here because this is the item import bus. The fluids will go to the fluid bus, which has a quadruple hatch, which should be able to handle pretty much anything. And we'll upgrade that later on, but it's fine. Once it's done, I have an output bus ME and an output hatch ME. I have a problem with this because right now how I'm doing my fluid storage, it's through super tanks. I might need to get some fluid storage drives or something. I'm not really sure how I'm going to handle this yet. But we could try out the fluid storage drives and try like partitioning them because I've heard that they're better. Like I've heard that they used to be laggy when they were part of extra cells. I think they're good now. Okay, is there anything else I didn't cover with this? I guess you really just need to watch that video. But I'm figuring it out. You can apply this to like any machines as well that you want. So eventually this could be any multi. Like assemblers are specifically one that I think is important. And like I bet you could do it with like laser engravers too and things like that. But yeah, this is for the most part done. I didn't test it yet. So let's try to test it. Okay, looks like it works. I just requested some ammonia. And I've made something new. I haven't done this before. A 16K ME multi-fluid storage cell. And I wanted the multi-fluid because the single fluid one's not what I wanted. I crafted like a bunch of those and that's not what I wanted. And we'll see what happens now. What I assume is that we'll go to the fluid cell. Are we done yet? Okay, we just finished. So output hatch ME is already empty. So I assume it must have gone where it needed to. See, the one thing I worry about is that if I have an empty super tank, it'll just dump it somewhere. Okay, yeah, it's definitely in there. Yeah, cool. You even hold control and see what's in there. That's not on these ones. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's how we're going to do that. And for the most part, those fluids are kind of like intermediary. Like I don't have a reason to like stock like a whole bunch of ammonia. Like, it's just going to be there for a recipe, and then that LCR is going to run at a pretty high voltage, so I'll run it like the highest I'm usually able to. So like EV, IV, like keep tearing it up like that. Okay, well, I'm glad that that's working. You know, before I say that it's working, let's make sure the cells went back to where they need to be. I barely even know how that works. How does it get the cell back out? That's the only thing I don't get. How are we taking the cell back out? I mean the circuit, not the cell. Oh, you know what? This is it. So the item threshold, that has to be it, right? If the item threshold is 1, that means only the circuit's left? No, I don't know. That's one thing I gotta think about. I'm actually not sure how that part of it works. But it did get returned, and it is working, so we're happy with that. Let me check everything else out. No, that's weird. Yeah, how does that work? I don't know very well how the MEIO ports work. Like, my question is, how does it put the circuit in here and then get it back out in the hopper down here? That is very strange to me. Like, I wonder if it, like, instantly pops it in here, pops it back out into the cell. I'll have to maybe ask that question on a Discord server somewhere. All right, the next thing to sort out is this fluid storage. I finally need all these byproducts because I need to get toluene now. And I probably should have done this a while ago. The idea that I have, basically, is to get some, like, quadra pipes and just have, like, a bank of super tanks and just send them to where they gotta go. I mean, yeah, it's probably the best way to do it, because then I can control which tanks, like, are venting or avoiding and stuff like that. I'm annoyed that I did this, but it's okay. This is probably not good, but this is what I'm doing. We have this, like, gigantic ender fluid conduit, which I think is kind of comical. I mean, big picture, I should probably just throw this all into the AE system, but, like, I don't know about that. So this is what we're doing, which is probably not ideal, but this is a way to do it, for sure. That shouldn't be a locked fluid, right? No. No, I guess that's fine. All right, well, I'm going to finish up this tower of stuff, and then we'll keep going, I guess. Here we are. Everything is hooked up now. We're all set up. Pretty nice to have all this in the AE system now, so we can do whatever we want with all these byproducts. And I hooked up the temporary P2Ps as well. These will just stay on until I'm done and tear all that down. Okay, let's go take a look at it in the ME system. This is going to be satisfying to see it all together. Yeah, look at that. Okay, the toluene was why I was doing that, but everything else is nice to have. So, I need to get nitration mixture in the AE system, but it's a little bit annoying because I don't have a multi-block mixer. Like, it's killing me. Why does it have to be in a mixer? But, you know, it's okay. So what I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I'm making sulfuric acid passively at the moment. So what if I just requested, like, nitric acid and I put it in a tank and I just grabbed it? That might not be a bad idea, and I just mix it manually for now and then throw it in the AE system. Because I took a look at this. Like, I could make a steam blender. This is an option for sure. But the industrial mixing machine is, like, not that far away, to be honest. It's, again, just like, do you have enough tungsten steel to make this? And right now I kind of don't. I also have to get alpha glass. We need IV tier glass. I need to figure out how to make this portal. Looks like it's just a Thaumcraft infusion, most likely. But we can do that pretty soon, I guess. Maybe I should just make the bronze mixer. Alright, it turns out this multi-block mixer can't do fluids. It says it in the quest book. I didn't read it. So we took that apart and we just threw a input hatch here. This will just throw the fluids that I need for the mixer recipe into here. I'll just take them out and I'll manually do it. So that's what that's going to be. Now, this LCR is a little bit slow for, like, some of this stuff. Like, ammonia's 40 seconds. I need to I guess upgrade this. But I mean, big picture, if I just had more LCRs in the system, it'd be better, I guess. I'm just too broke. I don't know. It's interesting for sure. Don't know if I'm totally sold on it yet, but I like it. It's like cool to be able to just program the recipe, not have to build LCRs and stuff. Like I said, maybe if I had like 8 of these parallel, it'd be a lot better. I'm not sure. But we'll figure it out together. Alright, with that, we're making a whole bunch of toluene, gel toluene that is. And then we could request the ITNT in just a bit. But we're not actually going to request the ITNT. What we're going to do is we're going to start patterning all of the stuff for the implosion compressor. So let's just start with like the tier 1 rocket stuff. What the hell do they call it? The tier 1 heavy duty plates. Yes. And we're going to start patterning all this stuff. Oh, I need a dual interface for that. Okay, that's no big deal. Yeah, we can make that work. Yeah, I just want to be able to request like all the places I need. I don't think I can request the rocket. I don't know how that works with the workbench. I don't think I have the capability to do that right now. I actually don't even know how that works, to be honest, but I want to be able to request pretty much everything that I could need for the rocket and just put it together real quick. I don't want to have to think, you know? Because otherwise it's going to take me hours to do all that microcrafting. That's why we're doing this right here. One thing to note here, because this is using an odd amount of stainless steel, I doubled the pattern. That's 1 ingot now. So that's how we're going to do that. And I'll keep going for the rest of these for the most part. I really am pressed for storage space. Can I get a pattern? It's going to ask me for platinum, isn't it? Yeah, it is. No! Okay. I can probably get 2 ingots to do this one last thing. I had to make a new line of machines. This should be all ready now, as long as you are hooked up. Yes, 1 channel, nice. And then this is a bender for 3, because I need triple plates for all this junk. And now we can actually get towards crafting this rocket. And I have a lot more stuff to program. This is like, I have so many patterns. I guess this isn't that many big picture, but it feels like a lot to me, because I haven't done this in a long time. So I guess I'll keep going then. Alright, not to leave us off on a cliffhanger, but like I feel like I did a lot this episode, and it's taken me an absurd amount of time to do it, and I forgot something really important. So the tier 2 rocket control computer requires EV field generators, which needs an LUV tier circuit, which means we need to upgrade our circuits so we can get nanoprocessors, which I wanted to do anyways, because this brings us away from using a lot of like blue alloy and random junk like that. But I feel like I've done enough, and I want to take a break, and I need to get this episode out, because I've spent so much time on it, and I would just like to keep you guys updated on what I'm doing. So, I think that'll be next time. Next time we'll finish up the nanos. I'm almost to the point where I can process the tier 2 ingots, so we'll finish the rocket next time as well. And that should be exciting, because that'll unlock a whole lot of new stuff for us. And I'm already prepared for it, because I set up my processing and all that already for the tungstate, and we're going to be advancing. Other stuff on my to-do list is ore processing and platinum processing. Maybe next time, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, sorry for taking so long. Like I said earlier, I think I've just been exhausted, and things are getting more complex, and I'm trying to learn. Like, I'm not trying to just get away with whatever this is. Like, this over here is a big step up for me, and I think I'm starting to learn. We're starting to figure it out, and that's a good thing. And I need to take my time with that, and I hope you guys will appreciate that, because I think we're going to get pretty far if I can keep doing stuff like this. This is such a quality of life enhancement. It is nuts. And I'm just going to, like, paralyze the hell out of this, and it's going to be great. And we're going to keep doing stuff like this. Trying to min-max and figure things out. Don't do things the lazy way, and keep on achieving. So that's the plan. Hopefully you guys are on board with that. And I'll see you next time then. Hopefully it won't be 2 weeks. Hopefully it'll be a couple days, but we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day.